Hey there, I'm Ashley, and this is New Day with Ashley. If you're looking for inspiration to make a difference and create lasting impact, then you're in the right place. Get ready to be encouraged by the stories of my guests who have taken risks, overcome challenges, and created opportunities. It's time to make the most of your new day. My guest today is a talented speaker, U.S. Air Force veteran, and humanitarian. Mark J. Lindquist has been on a mission to inspire others to do more with their life and career, achieving what they were put on earth to achieve. Mark stepped up and into a calling to start the nonprofit, the A-Team Ukraine. So the way I see it, you see a challenge, and you're finding a solution or finding a way.
Yeah.
So all of these skills that you've learned over your lifespan have prepared you for something like this.
I really do think so, right? Because it takes a certain mindset, tenacity, evidence in your life that you can. Otherwise, you're going to give up because the problem's too big, Ashley. I mean, it's the second largest refugee crisis since World War II. Wow. There's 16 million people not living at home. Like, what does one guy do to even make a dent? But in doing this work in communities for such a long time, I guess I have this innate mentality that you're not going to save everybody. But if you don't show up and do the work that you do, then that person that you helped doesn't receive help.
Right.
Their life isn't saved, right? So that's how the whole world works. If people don't show up to give their time, their energy, their talents, their perspective, their ideas, and their money, then nothing gets done.
Right.
And so I think the world is run by the doers and those that go.
Yeah. So you talked about it was hard to start this nonprofit. Well, one being in Ukraine with limited resources.
Yeah.
But do you think that's kind of something that holds a lot of people back? Whether it's starting a nonprofit, starting a business, doing something good, they just don't know where to start?
Absolutely. And also with this issue of Ukraine, like people want to help people in Ukraine because they see the horrifying things being done to civilians, but they don't know how. They don't know where to start. Because how would you even start to try to help somebody in the Donbass 6,000 miles away?
If we can't fly there and we can't,
So, people feel bad about it but never take any action, right? And so it does take, I suppose in this case, a leader, like ourselves, the veterans that are leading, the volunteers that are leading, that have the courage to go and solve these problems. It takes us leading society at this moment saying, hey, there are people out there that are the helpers. And we need support because we need to corral all of this collective goodwill and desire to help these people and say there are ways. It's 2023. You can use all of the wonderful tools that are available to us from all the technology online that you can connect people on a video chat to somebody sitting in Ukraine right now. Wow. The world is not that big anymore.
Right.
That you can give a box of goods to me and I'll hand carry it over to a guy in the Donbass who needs it, right?
Yeah.
How much better of a solution can we get?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the world, with this Ukraine issue, I think I've been of the incorrect mentality that I got to get the whole country to act like we did 80 years ago in World War II. I've shifted my mindset in the last few days and weeks to the idea that how many solutions to a problem do you need if you have a problem you're trying to solve? You just need one solution, right? That works. We have one solution. You got an American veteran that is not going to steal from the cause of freedom. That's not what we do. So when you think about corruption in Ukraine, you don't have to worry about that with us. And we are going to buy things on shelves in Ukraine that are readily available in stores, filling needs of Ukrainians that need that, right? So it's the shortest distance between 2 points. When you give money to our nonprofit, nobody gets paid out of that nonprofit. There's no salaries. It's all volunteer. And I go directly to the store with my debit card and buy it for the Ukrainian who requests it, and then you get a picture of that Ukrainian using it later that day.
Right.
Like that's a solution. The country doesn't have to wait for any more. This is it. Right? It's as low overhead as you can get and directly helping as you can get. So I'm dreaming up this new thing that I'm calling Operation Direct Help.
Okay.
Right? We did Operation Sleep Out, 17 days. We made it. Now it's Operation Direct Help. I'm going to be living in Lviv, interviewing local Ukrainians, asking them what they need, how much you need, what's the make and model, where's the link to get it, how much money, does it cost, and then we go shop for it later that day. Here's the thing, like you said earlier, about not giving up or, showing up and making it happen. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't know if Operation Sleepout was going to work. I didn't know it would work if I walked across the border in last March and tried to help. I had no idea. But you got to be willing to try. If your enemy is beatable, you don't stop attacking. Right? So my war is to help. That's my war.
I like that, yeah.
And so I will continue to help in any way I can until I find the thing that works. Because my guys have been asking for the same tourniquets and first aid kits for 10 months. So that means that the world isn't doing enough.
Right.
So we'll try to bring it there, one civilian at a time.
Yeah. So what's the most rewarding part?
We don't actually have a lot of time to talk about or think about the rewarding part, because on top of right after the person that you help and feel like you did a good job, you've got 80 other people that day who asked you for just basic stuff. I don't know. I suppose if I were to think about the most rewarding part, it's when you get to deliver things that they've been asking for. I wish Americans could feel the hugs and, dry the tears, and get the handshakes and thanks from Ukrainians, because almost every Ukrainian that I know, since we traveled so far east into the places that are remote, almost every Ukrainian that I know knows that if it doesn't come from America, it's not coming. Really? Right? So when you show up with something that you were asked for, blows them away. Right. First of all, they say, "What are you doing out here? You're an American out in the Donbass? Are you lost?"
Yeah. Are you crazy?
Because
what are you doing here?
People don't go that far. So we do.
Think that people don't care, right?
Right. I mean, war is about hearts and minds, right? You need strong morale of people and soldiers to be able to win wars. If you have low morale and you don't know what you're doing there, that's a recipe for loss in a battle in a hurry. And so these Ukrainians' spirit is strong and proud, and much like I would believe what we would call the American spirit, loving freedom and our independence. And we can't take for granted that will last forever. Because war, it wears on people. It wears on your psyche. It wears on your body. It wears on your emotions. And then you are constantly depressed. Why? Because people that die every week. I mean, how do you get out of a tailspin of depression and mental, wellness if every week you have to deal with another death in your circle of influence? I mean, that's what it is. Or the destruction of a local school or church, right? And so it's it's not a given that the Ukrainian people will be as strong and as motivated forever. And so my opinion is that we have more than enough strength in America as the citizens to lend that strength to the Ukrainians, right? They just need people to have their back. And what does that look like? It looks like my friend Karen in D.C., who every time she gets a Starbucks coffee, she sends me $5 on Venmo. Oh. I can't tell you how many tourniquets that she's sponsored with that little idea. And she doesn't do it every time, but she does it whenever she thinks about it. Yeah. It's not like we're not asking for millions. Okay, I am asking for millions. But I'm asking for someone to give me $11 that I can buy a tourniquet for a guy who is going to use it this year. Yeah. I can get the tourniquet from a local dealer in Ukraine called Sich, and we can get them for $11. If you buy them on Amazon, they're $35 because the world loves to make money off of war.
Sure. Well, yeah. Now, something I had read on your website, that you've been on a mission to inspire others to do more with their life and career, achieving what they were put on earth to achieve. Yeah. So is that the role? Is this the role for you?
I mean, I guess I didn't think about that before this Ukraine thing. So, but yes, in general, I'd say that's like a life statement for me, or a life mission. Is that, I've seen a lot of people in my life, like, just kind of getting through life, just kind of living, but not living large.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, like a hamster on a wheel, and just feel stuck, maybe the job that they have isn't as satisfying, or, they don't have a dream anymore or something. I was always somebody who said, well, I mean, if you think it's not possible, watch me.
Yeah.
I'll prove it to you. We can do it. Folks, we can do it. We can make it happen. It can be great and fun. And so I'd like to think that if my life means anything, it is maybe to serve as the person who takes the excuse away and says, I mean, I know that we could talk about the roadblocks in life and the challenges all day long, but what it really takes is someone to break through the brick wall so that everybody behind you says, well, this is doable. Mm-hmm. It's possible, right? Same thing here. I think Americans think that they can't help the country of Ukraine. Watch me. I just need more help. Mm-hmm. We are doing it. We are delivering things that will save people's lives. And so, I hope people capture the spirit and the fire of this mission with Ukraine. But like you said, on a larger scale, I hope that people find the thing that sets them on fire. Yeah. I hope people find something that when they get up and they say, you know what? It's a new day. See what I did there?
I like that.
It's a new day, and I can go make a difference with the day that I'm given today. Mm-hmm. I can dream a big dream. I can make plans. I can try to make an impact. And, if anything takes anything away from hearing my story, I hope it's that. I hope it's that you say, well, if that idiot can do it,
yeah.
I can
I don't know
too.
if anyone's going to call you that. Yeah. No.
Well, I'm just a person. I'm a high school graduate. I'd see the world and I say, well, you got to be able to help somewhere, right? And so I am just an average person who grew up in Ortonville, Minnesota, who lives in Fargo and drives a crappy Kia Sorrento, right? I don't have anything special other than maybe the idea that we can do it, mm-hmm. right? That is duplicatable by anybody, right?
Well, Mark, I'm excited for this next, what did you call it?
Operation Direct Help.
Direct Help.
Right.
Okay.
Made it up last Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you call your sleep out thing like this crazy idea you said? I had a crazy idea.
Just a crazy idea that happened to work.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of crazy ideas that didn't work, right? This one did. And so why would you stop trying these things that may work and help? And that's what I'll continue to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. The A-Team Ukraine, so people can look that up and go and support all of your efforts that you're doing.
Just Google Mark Lindquist and you'll find the links and website there. And we're not stopping. I told the Ukrainians in New York City the other day, well, you're not going to stop to help the Ukrainians. I'm not going to stop to help Ukrainians. So that means that we are unstoppable, right? And that's a great mindset to have when you approach every new day.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm a branding guy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mark. This has been such a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow, what a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always so inspiring sharing these stories. To listen to the full podcast, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. Remember to like and subscribe. I would love if you could leave me a 5-star review. This helps us reach and engage with more people. Join me next week, and until then, make the most of your new day.